We are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Haley Beaver's favorite new podcast. This is J&J Dating Dynamics. Just bear with us 1 second as we go live on Instagram as well. Today is Wednesday, and I am in Miami, and the hurricane is just pretty much past us. We didn't get it that bad, so it wasn't bad at all. So you invited me on Instagram or what? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I just invited you.
There you go.
And let me also invite.
Beautiful. All right, let's start this again. And we are live. Welcome everybody to Haley Beaver's favorite new podcast. This is J&J Dating Dynamics, where we talk about all things dating and men and women and intersexual dynamics. I am Jay. He is Jay. He is Jay. And this is episode 5. Justin, my man, how you doing? What are we talking about?
Not too bad, man. How about yourself? How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. We just got passed with mind you, I'm not in Central Florida, which got hit the worst, but we got a lot of rain and wind out here in Miami. But our prayers and thoughts go out to everybody who's in the affected area and the really bad areas. Because hurricanes are no joke. But other than that, everything's good. By the way, everybody should know we now have an official Instagram account. Please go follow us there. The handle is literally JJ Dating Dynamics. And you see the cool little yellow logo right in the avatar. Go follow us there. We're gonna start going live from that account as well for usually the first 10 to 15 minutes of the podcast. And as soon as Justin wants to tell us what we're talking about today, then we'll start talking about it.
Sorry, I'm still just setting up the live.
A few technical difficulties.
All right,
here.
so today we're going to be talking about feminism and the attack of the modern masculine man and the effects that it has on our future.
On our future. Very worthy topic. Okay, so then, that being the case, let me set the scene for you, Justin, so you can tell us your thoughts. So we live in a world now where traditional masculinity is, quote, toxic, where women are constantly falsely accusing athletes and powerful men. I think of recently Ronaldo, the soccer superstar. Some lady came out and said that Ronaldo raped her. And I think we're not supposed to use that word on YouTube, so let's say the R word. When Ronaldo doesn't need to R word anyone, then men
That's
can
not
get
good.
what's going on there? Men can get quote unquote canceled or have their lives destroyed when a woman just decides she wants to do it. And places which should be safe for masculinity, a place like Planet Fitness won't let you stack more than 3 plates because it's threatening. So we live in a way more feminized world. I think feminism has moved way past equality and now wants supremacy over men. What are your thoughts?
I definitely think it's evolved from just fighting for simple women's rights to literally attacking the masculinity of men and basically trying to feminize the whole world that we're living in these days. Like,
Right.
it's almost like you have to be ashamed of being a man. Like, we're literally nobody on the totem pole. Like, it's women, then all the gays, and then men.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
the gays can be men or women.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
I'm not being biased.
Yeah, no, we absolutely live in a world where, or at least in a country, where masculinity is belittled and something to be looked down on. And I go back to I don't know, I forgot if it was last Super Bowl or 2 Super Bowls ago where that Gillette commercial came out. And Gillette's slogan is the best a man can get. But their slogan for that Super Bowl commercial was the best men can be, or something like that. And it essentially was saying all the ways that toxic masculinity is wrong and how they actually want men to be. And I remember it stuck in my head. There was this scene in the commercial where a pretty girl walks by a store or somewhere, and a guy looks at her, and he's gonna go talk to her. He walks up to go to her, and some guy just comes out like, "No, no, no, dude, that's wrong." Like, How are we supposed to meet each other? Is it only online now? Are we not allowed to go up to a pretty girl and talk to her?
Only if you're in the top 20% of men. Basically,
Right.
if you look decent.
Right. Because if you're ugly and you go talk to a girl, then you're a creep.
Yeah.
Right.
And like literally the stats out there are that women
Yeah.
find 80% of men unattractive.
Right. No, I highly believe most men are invisible to most women.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
but is feminism really to blame for that? Is the feminization of men to blame for that?
Um, I wouldn't say the feminization of men is to blame for that. I feel like the whole like I can't blame it on anything specific. I won't say it's like the Me Too movement, but like this whole attack on men has men even feeling weird about trying to approach women in the way, compared to how
Well,
they used to.
and the way men feel about approaching women and dating women, that was what Me Too did for the hiring of women. Now my CEO, I talk to a lot of people who don't want to hire women because they don't want to put themselves in that position now,
Yeah,
where they're going to be, whether it's rightly or wrong, they don't want to be accused of anything. So
yeah.
a lot of men won't hire women anymore. But I do think um, the feminization of men is to blame for the 80-20 rule. And I do think feminism had a lot to do with that. Because as you start feminizing men, what actually attracts women is a masculine man. And as that population of men who are unapologetically masculine shrinks to, let's say, 20% of men, then those men start to become far more visible than the other 80% who have let their lives be either run by women or, let themselves be feminized.
I mean, also like if you think about it, I mean, what percent of men that are super successful are actually masculine men?
But
Think
define
about
that,
that.
because I think that to be a very successful man, you're going to need some semblance of masculinity. You're going to need some
Oh
masculine
no,
traits. You're going to need leadership.
you're gonna have to be a mental killer, and you're
Yeah.
gonna have to be on point with business. But some of them might be considered like the dorks of
Oh,
society.
absolutely.
I mean,
Look, Jeff Bezos.
look at Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're dorks, but at the end of the day, they had that killer instinct that men have to have.
of course, but they're not really. I wouldn't say like masculine men.
No, I wouldn't place them as masculine either, but there is something about them. They
But
did manage to get
the
themselves.
masculine men that women are actually attracted to happen to be more blue collar men. But blue collar men are no longer attractive towards women.
Well, attractive or arousing, because there's a big difference there,
No,
right? So she may be aroused by the gardener, but she's not attracted to him. She's attracted to the CEO, who may or may not be masculine, but she's aroused by the masculine man,
I'm
the
talking about the
cool man.
masculine traits of that man.
Okay, so let's define masculine traits.
Like, I'm not talking about Jose the gardener. I'm talking about his muscles while he's doing things,
Right.
the way he's carrying things. Like she looks for the man being a man, the way
Right,
maybe
the square jaw, the manual labor, the sweat, the
everything.
testosterone.
Yeah, guys in the gym, like doing their thing, like they're attracted to the masculine qualities, not that feminine quality. So I'm saying, like, they're attracted to certain qualities of the
Mhm.
rich, successful dude, but
Right.
not all of them.
No, absolutely not. I believe most women who are married to some rich guy, they're probably not happy in their marriage because ultimately that guy may not arouse them. Ultimately they need that sexual release, that sexual side piece, whatever. Let's call it what it is.
So definitely, I feel like it's an attack on men in whole, like even down to the media. Like I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen a shift from when I was a teenager and through my 20s dating until my age now. There's been a huge shift in the media. I mean, I feel like I have no problem with the gays at all. I grew up
Right.
with a gay uncle, I have gay family, but it doesn't bother me at all. But for it to be pushed down my throat from the media and on
Sure.
television and in movies,
Especially when the gay population in this country is something like 3%, I
you
believe.
know what? I mean, it's fine for me. I'm already a grown adult. I'm developed. But what
Right.
is this doing to the future generations and the children that happen to catch glimpse of it? Like now it's normal to them.
Right. And it can be as normal as you want it to be, but you're absolutely right.
And like the problem is now, like the kids coming up as brand new teenagers, they're almost confused because there's
Yeah.
a narrative being pushed and it's like it's almost cool to be gay, but like were these kids actually born that way? Because I feel like when you're born that way, like that's
Yeah.
there's no changing that. But I
Well,
feel like these kids
the genetics of homosexuality, I think it's something we can get into some other time. But
that's
I do agree with
that's
you. You're
I think
absolutely
that's
right.
in you since birth.
It very well may be. I'm not a scientist. I don't know, but
Bro,
you are
look at
absolutely right in that the gay population is way oversampled in the media.
Bro, look at young children that are like 4 or 5. You can basically tell. I mean, it's harder with girls because there's a lot of tomboys, but
Hmm.
you can tell when a boy is a little bit flamboyant.
Oh,
And
sure,
so that I'm saying that's in them. But I feel like the teenagers coming up, they don't know if it's cool to become that way because of what's pushed down their throat and what's around them. So they're not born that way. They're just trying to make a decision. I don't know. I think it's just confusing our youth and it's damaging
sure.
our whole race as a whole for the future. I mean,
Right. And I think it all forms part of the same attack on masculinity because everywhere you look in the media. Well, hang on. Before I get into all that, guys, if you're on Instagram, please come over to the YouTube side. I'm going to drop the link here in the comments. I hope all of you can make it over there. And if you're on YouTube, please do me a favor, hit that like button. It really helps us out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you're watching this after it goes live, please hit the like button. It really, really, really helps us out as we try to build out this channel. But I was just going to say, Justin, you're absolutely correct in that anywhere you look in the media, whether it's commercials, whether it's TV shows, whatever it is, the man in the when you see a family dynamic, the man is always the dope. The man is always the punchline, and the woman's essentially the one holding the family together. When it's not necessarily always like that, not even close. A man normally leaves his family, but you look at every commercial, and there's mom and the kids making
I
fun of
mean,
dad.
I think women definitely lead the household in a conventional marriage with children. Like I think women do lead the household,
Hmm.
but, but men run the family.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
They
Yeah,
provide
women make the home.
we
Absolutely,
provide and we protect,
absolutely, yeah.
but
No,
women make the home. And
right,
I
but those
feel like
roles, if you go out there and you acknowledge those roles, now you're a sexist. If you say
but
women are supposed
how
to
is
make a
that being
home and lead a
sexist?
home,
That's literally the old school way that we grew up
that's
with
the
the
thing.
wo
It's not sexist to me. It's not sexist to most people with common sense, but to these very loud feminist voices. And I'm not saying all feminists are like this. The radical feminists, they hear these things and they want to say, "Oh, you just want to go back to 1950 and leave it to Beaver. You just want your lady in the kitchen raising your kids, and you go off and do whatever you want."
So I have a funny thing to add right here. So I dated a girl, long-term relationship. Actually, somebody I thought I would probably marry, but things happen.
Sure.
Um, Amazing thing happened. One day she comes to me and she says, out of nowhere, she's like, "Yeah, women really messed up."
Yeah, they did.
And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And this is coming straight from her. We weren't even on the subject. She just randomly came up to me.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Women messed up really bad." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, I got to go out and work so I can pay bills and take care of stuff. And, you know, if we wouldn't have fought for our rights. Listen, I'm totally for women's rights. The
Yes.
simple things. I'm not taking away from that at all. But this is
No,
just
nobody should.
this is just what she said. She's like, I could have been at home cooking, making sure everything is clean, and you could have been working. I could have been here clean. I could have cleaned the house in 2 hours and been watching TV all day, having a glass of wine. And
Right.
like,
And the funny thing is, if you look at today's dating market, that's what ultimately women are looking for. They
that's
just
what
want to
they
sit back and
want.
get taken care of.
And we want to do that for you naturally. It's in us.
Right. Right. But if you acknowledge that out loud, like I said, you want to go back to the 1950s and the Leave It to Beaver days. All right, let's go off Instagram here, guys. Please come over to the YouTube side. Let me take this right now and put the link up so that you guys can go find it.
Guys, if you have any trouble finding the link after we sign off, just click on my story and you can literally click the link that's below. It's a little banner that says YouTube. And
Yep.
if you want to comment, we'd love to hear your opinion. We'd love some questions. If you want to join the chat, shoot us a request, and we'll see you
Yes,
live
please
on
do.
YouTube.
All right, there is the link. So we're gonna say goodbye to our Instagram, guys. Please hit that link. Come over to the YouTube side, and once you do, please hit the like button. It really, really helps us out. All right, thank you very much, Instagram. We'll be back.
Signing off, guys. See you later.
All right, now that it's just us, let me. The crowd is cheering for us right here. Justin says that's really loud. If somebody can put on the chat whether that clapping sound was really, really loud or not, that would really help us out. Because it's not loud for me, but it's loud for him. So, all right, where were we? We were talking about traditional gender roles, male and female roles within within a family structure, and how it's funny how women fought to get away from those roles, quote unquote. At least third wave feminists did, and now when you're dating a girl or when women are looking for the rich guys, it seems that that's exactly what they want. They want to just sit and cook for him. They want to take care of him. They want to have his kids, and but they can't admit it, right?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
So
I know girls out there right now that are my female friends, and like literally they'll go around and they'll hook up with guys, but at the end of the day, I know them and they really want that one guy. They really do.
right,
But they're being very picky,
yeah,
and I
because they
can't
have choices.
they do
That's
have
the thing.
choices. I
Yeah,
can't blame them either, but at the same time, I feel like the regular man isn't a viable candidate anymore.
no, he's not. Absolutely not. No, he's not. He is absolutely not a viable candidate. I mean, unless everything in town. Well, that's the thing. When they live in a small town and everybody in town is essentially half of the bottom 50%, they're gonna want to move out of town. Then they're gonna go chase their dreams in the big city. You know.
Yeah, of course. So,
Now, let's get one thing straight. We're not against all feminists here. Feminism started by trying to give women the right to vote. Fair enough. That's not a right they should lose. I totally agree with
let's put
that.
this out there because I don't want people to think that this is an anti-woman channel. I also want to touch on things that will advocate for women's points in the future.
Sure.
Like this, we're all about dating dynamics. This isn't anti-feminism. There are good points to feminism. We're just talking about the negative effects that it has today.
Right. I feel like we're
And
talking about radical feminism.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's an absolute difference between feminism and radical
Hang
feminism.
on, I gotta adjust my chair here. Okay, that's way better. Yeah, so we're talking about radical feminism. We're talking about the feminists that you see in the thumbnail, for example, who, you know, and it, that movement, the third wave feminist radical movement, that's what's given birth to this entire. I don't
Culture.
even know what it is. This entire woke culture of no pronouns and ridiculous things that absolutely make no sense. Gender neutral bathrooms. Who the hell cares? Like really, men and women go to separate bathrooms. It's always been like that. That's how it works. Why the hell do you need a gender neutral bathroom? Because
unless
it's
it's
equal.
unless it's private.
See, it all starts from the fallacy that men and women are equal. And in some
No, but
issue,
we're not equal. It's
of
the
course not.
same. We're not equal. We're very different. We're biologically different. We're chemically different.
Psychologically, we're different.
We're meant to perform different tasks.
Yes.
And I don't
What?
understand why it's such a complicated conversation to have. I am no better than a woman. A woman is no better than me.
She's
And
just different.
it's just like I don't understand. But most women out there will think they are better than me. But
Sure.
dude, I wish we can see. I swear to God, I wish we can see either the salary that we make yearly,
Hmm.
or what you have in your bank account displayed like on an LED across the top of your head, so I can value these women based on what they're doing and their career stats and what like how valuable are some of you that have unrealistic expectations when you should be looking for lower. I think there's
Well,
some unrealistic standards these days, and
I
it's
would submit
literally
to you. I would submit to you, at least here in Miami,
Jesus Christ.
that would actually undervalue men. Because down here in Miami, you have a ton of girls who do their OnlyFans thing, make a ton of money,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's their boyfriends who pay the rent, and it's their boyfriends who pay for their car, and it's the boyfriends who pays their bills, even though they're a strong and independent woman.
yeah,
No
but
line turns me off more
let's see how
than a
long that
girl saying
boyfriend
I'm strong
lasts.
and independent. Well, that's the thing. If he's not a top 20% guy, he's gonna be there. He's gonna stay by. He's gonna take it.
Yeah,
He's
but
gonna keep providing that money.
how long is she gonna let him stick around?
Well, she's already cheating on him. She don't care as long as he keeps paying.
Yeah. All right, so let's take this back in time. So do you think
I don't think there is time to take it back. But go ahead.
no, 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 I want to take us back in time.
Oh, okay.
So do you think before the whole like feminist movement began that women were more submissive and more pure?
Yes, because that's the way they were raised.
So do you think that they were more happy in their relationships because they only knew the love of one man? In
Yeah, I
a
think women overall.
worst case situation, they were either married or with somebody had children. Second man, but
Oh,
they were very intentional about loving someone back
don't
then.
get me wrong. I think women today are miserable. I think men are far happier than women, even though a lot of them ignore us. I think men are far happier than women. You meet most girls, they're on some kind of antidepressant.
But this goes back to the topic we discussed a couple days ago on our last podcast. Are women
Right.
why are they miserable? Are they looking for love?
They're miserable.
I think
I'll
they're
tell you why
miserable
they're
because they're
miserable.
looking for love
They're looking for love and they can't find it,
in
but they're
all the
also
wrong
miserable. Look,
places.
of course, in all the wrong places, but and this is going to sound politically incorrect. I honestly don't care. Sex takes an emotional toll on women,
Oh,
not on men,
absolutely.
because women are not designed to be out there sleeping around.
We
So
won't bond.
when these women go to a 4 year college, and they take uh, 3 or 4 dicks every freaking weekend at a college party, then they go to Cancun and sleep with the guy at the phone party, and they get out of college and they already racked up a body count of over 100. They're gonna go on antidepressants right away when the first guy dumps them because they've been literally given everything. They've been living life, living la vida loca. A guy never turned her down because all she did was offer up the pussy. And now she's miserable when one guy rejects her. So she's gonna go on antidepressants. She's gonna go to the shelter and rescue a couple of dogs, and she's gonna register as emotional support dogs.
Bro,
And she's gonna sit there watching The Bachelorette at night, drinking a cup of wine, high on Xanax, and swiping on Tinder.
with every man a woman sleeps with, her ability to pair a bond with her real
Goes down.
man,
Absolutely.
it just lowers.
Absolutely.
So if you think about it, think about, this has happened to me with several women. We will go on a couple dates, we will hit it off,
Hmm.
and whether or not we sleep with each other, the when it starts to get real intense, I've felt like a withdrawal. And I honestly feel that it's because they scare themselves out, like, oh my God, I'm catching feelings. Is this a relationship ruin? Like they don't know what to do, and they no longer know how to handle the emotions of an incoming relationship because they're so
Right.
scared to experience love because of the damage they've been through.
Right. And then, well, I think part of that too is, and it's hilarious, but we live in an age of dating where people almost care more about being right than about showing their feelings. Like
I
for
agree.
example, if we're texting back and forth, and and the girl texts me something, good morning. If I don't text her back because I'm in a meeting and I'm busy and then I forget, she won't text again till I text her. And if I don't text her, that's it. Relationship over. She's not gonna text you at night. Hey, hope you had a good day. I'm sure you were busy. She won't
Yeah,
do that because
yeah.
she doesn't want to seem too interested.
But
And men, we do it too. Men do it too, by the
yeah,
way.
but when you first start dating a woman, right? Let's say she's busy,
Hmm.
and you text her something,
Yeah,
and we'll do the same thing because
sure.
I won't answer. I'll wait till I get a response. But internally, you want to be like, hello, like,
Yeah,
have you seen it?
of course.
Normally, in the past, I wouldn't even think twice. I'd be like, I might send a meme. Did you die?
Yeah,
Like,
answer me, woman.
but
And I
now
do. I do
when
see
you're
some
hold
people.
on, when you're first dating a new woman, that's viewed as weak because you're double texting.
Yeah, you're too needy now.
Now you're too needy.
Yeah,
But how is
yeah, it's
that
sad.
needy if I'm just
Demanding attention.
following up?
It
It,
is what it is, man.
it's not neediness, it's consistency.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
God forbid you trade Instagrams and you like three or four of her posts.
oh, you're thirsty.
Oh yeah, that's too thirsty. No, no, no. I can't be talking to this guy.
Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, follow you and then just like not like
Not do
anything and
anything.
just be a creep?
Well, be careful about following too. You should watch the story once and then that's it. Because if not, you're gonna be too needy. Just to confirm that they exist. But I do see some of you guys are watching. Please comment on the chat what your thoughts are. We'd love to answer your questions if you have any. Also, please hit the like button while you're at it, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to. This is only episode 5. We're trying to get this thing off the ground and try to make it into something so that we can have this broader conversation
Yeah.
with more of the population.
Literally, me and
Look at me
Joel,
rhyming.
we are no experts at
Nope.
all. We're just two regular dudes having a
We're
conversation,
we
and
are literally we are literally two guys in two separate parts of the country, in two separate dynamics of the dating market. I date more online. Justin dates more in person. Like he goes out to the bars and meets girls, which is great. So, I feel like we bring a lot of good experience here. So we're just trying to, between amongst ourselves, have a conversation. What the hell is going on in the dating world today? 'Cause it's a freaking mess.
it really is. And to be honest, that's for me the whole point of this podcast is to bring awareness. Like, I want to bring love back. I'm not even joking. I want people to fall in love with each other. Like, bro, you ever have you been in love?
Yeah, I have.
Do you remember the first time?
Yeah. As everybody does.
Bro, that's some kind of euphoria, some
Yeah.
euphoria that like you can't even, dude, it's
Yeah,
drugs.
it's something
It's drugs.
different. But now it's every
Bro,
relationship. I don't care how long it's been going. Every relationship's a power struggle now.
everything has become almost emotionless.
Absolutely. I've
It
been dumped for
it's
saying I love you
it's
first.
immediately financial and sexual. It's an
Yeah.
exchange. It's an
But
exchange.
I've been dumped from an 8-month relationship. I got dumped. This was about 6 years ago. I got dumped because I said I love you first. That was literally the reason she cited for breaking up with me a week after I said it. She never said it back, so be it. I didn't really pay much attention, but that was literally she freaked out, or I was too needy, or something. But now you have to show exactly what she feels you have to show, because if not, you're too thirsty. If not, you're too needy.
Yeah, I'm
And
having like I feel like you have to be a mind reader, and it's almost become impossible.
I don't think you have to be a mind reader. You just have to know how to act, how to conduct yourself. I feel, and look, and this works for me. It may not work for everybody. And this is honestly the way that I am. I feel if you don't have to own the woman or dominate the woman, but you have to own and dominate the relationship. If you own and you dominate your relationship,
I wouldn't say
she's gonna want to,
dominate, but lead.
well, lead. Okay, lead or own the relationship. She's gonna want to naturally fall into line because that's how it works.
But that's what I'm getting at is women no longer want to fall in line with a man because they look at it like they're up beneath us. And
No,
it's
I do
not
feel they will
it's
fall in. I do feel they'll fall in line for that top 10%, or for a man that they really respect and they really
of
like. They will fall in line.
course. Absolutely. You will see 100% different woman out
Hmm.
of that girl
Yep.
because she's giving all these guys over here the oh, you can't get this. Oh, block, 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 block. But then that one guy comes and she's like, I'm telling like it's completely but men are the same. I am the same.
Yeah,
When
we are alike
bro,
in
if
that
I
sense.
am not interested, I'm still gonna kick it, but I'm not kicking it in the way that I will if I like a girl. And
Right,
with
because we
that
acknowledge it's for
actually,
recreational use only, right?
when I like a girl, oh my God, that kills the game for me. It kills the game for me, bro, because I'm a different dude. And now I'm doing nice things and I'm being the gentleman. And what do these girls see? Because they got the nice guy out of me, they see the simp.
Yeah.
And that
You
in
know what? That
itself,
reminds me. Keep talking. That reminds me of something. I'm gonna bring it up on screen, but go ahead.
that notion, like girls, if a guy is giving you like little simp things, he might just like you. He might not be an actual simp. He might not be that soft. But for you, you're bringing out a different side of him. So maybe you want to feel that guy out and see if he's a pushover. See how masculine he is. See if you run the show. Who wears the pants? Because if he's giving you the lead, run away.
Yep. Okay, so that reminded me this whole little exchange we just had. My daughter listens to a lot of her songs when we're in the car, obviously, and I kind of let her. But that reminded me of a Demi Lovato song called "Heart Attack." And what I want to do is I want to bring up the lyrics here really quickly because it basically it says it all in one song. So let me bring it up here, and you can see it right here. When I don't care, I can play him like a Ken doll. I won't wash my hair, then make him bounce like a basketball. But you, being the alpha male, the top 10% guy, make me want to act like a girl. See, it's right there. Oops. Can you see it?
Yep.
It's right there. There's your evidence. You make me glow, but I won't. I'll cover up. I won't let it show. So I'm
Now,
pulling up my defenses because I don't want to fall in love. There you go.
what do you think about these categories of men? Alpha, beta, sigma.
Eh, I don't really buy into them. I mean, I do believe that some men are natural born leaders, and if you want to call them alphas, whatever, call them whatever you want. But there are some men who are naturally not bred, but they're born to be natural born leaders. The term alpha male comes from us describing biology and the alpha lion and the alpha gorilla or whatever. That's where that comes from. And if you want to give men who are in that top tier those titles, then so be it. Now, if you're not necessarily an alpha, you can call you whatever yourself whatever you want. I don't really buy into labels as it is. No, I don't even know what they are anymore. I know what alpha and beta is. What the hell is a sigma male?
So the sigma males, that's like, a new category. But
What what are they better? What
a
are they?
sigma male is basically an alpha male, but who's a little bit more quiet about his success and and the way he moves. I actually, if I had to place myself in a category, I would say I'm a Sigma male because I am very goal oriented. I am very driven. I feel like I'm still a hungry man out there trying to go grab the world by the horns. But at the same time, I'm not that crazy dude screaming in the bar, the loud guy that has to be center of attention all the
Well,
time.
hang
Like,
on. The loud guy who has to be the center of attention all the time, that's not necessarily an alpha male.
no. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm not saying that's necessarily the alpha, but the guy that's basically leading the pack every time.
Sure.
I, to be honest, I'm a great leader as well, but
Are
sometimes,
you though? Are you
dude,
though?
sometimes other people will step up to the plate in certain situations before me,
Sure.
and I feed on the crowd, and I'll let, as long as I agree with the way it's being led, like on a team format. But I don't
Well,
know.
you are a musician by trade, right? So you do have that quality of liking the attention.
Oh, absolutely, but
You egotistical bastard.
but I definitely wouldn't consider myself alpha. I don't
Okay.
have most of the qualities that women see as alpha, which would be, over 6 feet.
Hmm.
uh,
Well, that's another thing. I think being an alpha male has very little to do with the way you look.
uh,
The perception of it may, like you may look at somebody and say, okay, he looks like he should be an alpha male, but that doesn't necessarily mean he is.
I could argue part of that because women will go for the broke alpha because he looks good.
Absolutely, women they'll fuck the broke alpha.
No, there's sometimes they'll be like sugar mama to that broke alpha.
Well,
Think about it.
he better be damn good. I mean, he's gonna have to have like a 27 inch,
Yeah. I know
thing
Miami's a
there.
little more fancy,
Yeah,
but
Miami's a freaking
my
free for
my
all.
area growing up, there's a lot of, like, I don't know why, but everybody's a little hood or like a little ghetto.
Well, you do come from the Jersey Shore after all.
I have seen Jeremy actually just texted me. He said where comments are not allowed.
What?
Yeah. Um
What? Hang on, let me.
but so over here is like a little ghetto or hood, and I've seen some of the most beautiful girls that I know
All
from
right,
around the
Jeremy,
way.
commenting should be turned on now. Sorry about that.
I see the most beautiful girls that I know from around the way, and they get wifed up by the most ghetto dude with no job, just loser dudes.
Well, of course that does happen because you do see all these guys with hot ass girls who have 20 kids by the time they're 25.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
well, I would argue that wasn't a top quality female to begin with.
So we answered that question right before. So
Yeah,
women will
Jeremy,
get.
please text Justin again. See if the comments are working now.
I'll text him.
Thank you.
But
They should be
yeah,
working now.
so you definitely think they were more pure back in the day?
Yeah, absolutely. And it has to do with with their body counts. I mean, I think most women by the time they get out of college now, their body count has to be way over 100.
Do you think body count is an issue?
Absolutely.
Do you ever,
Every time a woman sleeps with a different guy, that guy takes just a little bit of their
bro?
soul.
Let me ask a personal opinion. Would you
Yeah.
ever dare ask a woman her body count?
No, I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't, it's not something I want to know. You know
No.
what? You know what's fucked up is that I almost know that I'll be disgusted.
Well, no, disgusted or not, you're begging to be lied to because a woman's never going to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if she's a virgin, or she has very little, she's gonna think, oh, he's gonna think I'm a loser. So she's
Yeah.
gonna tell you more than it actually is. And if it's like 12, she's gonna think it's too many, and she's gonna tell you another number. And if it's like 50, she's just gonna lie. So you're begging to be lied to if you ask a woman her body count. I don't.
Amen.
I'm look straight up. Unless I ask you a specific question, I don't want to know anything about your exes. I don't want to know anything about your body count. I don't care. That's not my problem. If I'm dealing with you, if I'm messing with you, my problem is what happens from now till then.
Yeah, I don't want,
I
to
don't
be
want to
honest.
know your past. I don't need to know your past because I'm going to be disappointed because today's women, sadly, like I said, they all get out of most of them get out of college with these 100 plus body counts, and that's not cool.
Bro, like I said before, if people had to walk around with their bank account information, their career, and body count
Oh Jesus!
right above their heads, can you imagine?
No, well, that would fix the promiscuity problem in this country easily.
Well, that would definitely fix the 80-20 thing that's going
Absolutely.
on. We would
That
know which guy's getting them
that
all.
would fix dating. That would fix it all. Because women wouldn't be sleeping around now. Women, a lot of them would want to keep that zero till marriage.
But you know what would really fix dating?
What's that?
If women would close their legs,
That's exactly what I just said.
find the right partner and submit to a man.
Not find the right partner, pick the right partner.
Yeah. I
Because
mean, to be honest, the couple relationships, the long relationships that I've been in, where I've been in love,
hmm
the women always found me.
okay.
It's weird. But when I go out dating, it never works out. It's weird.
See, for me, it hasn't been the case. I think I've been in love two or maybe three times, and all three times, well, the first one we kind of found each other, but the other two I kind of found her.
okay.
But but I do think that you know what, we don't need to get into all that right now. But okay, so do you think feminism and radical feminism is what led to today, where women have these massive body counts before they're 25?
Oh, I mean, they're pushing it out to women. Like you can sleep with whoever you want. Like be free. Like
Be a man.
be a man. How many times do you hear girls say "suck my cock"? And it's like,
Yeah, if a
why?
girl tells me that,
Why
that's
are
an
they
immediate
saying?
turn off. I don't. Yeah,
Why are they saying that? Think about that. Because it's a powerful thing to say,
absolutely.
and it's a masculine thing to say.
hmm
But when
Absolutely.
it just blows my mind. So
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
another good question.
True.
We can break this one down to: does feminism hurt the modern woman of the future, and how?
Honestly, does it hurt the future women?
Yeah,
Maybe. I think that's a hard one to tell because I feel feminism has gone so far in one direction that either it's going to plateau and stay where it is for a while, and the quality and the value of women is going to stay where it is for a while, or it's going to have a massive counter reaction,
yeah.
and
I
the
mean,
quality of women is going to skyrocket up.
right now out there on the internet, on YouTube, in the manosphere, whatever you want to call it, there's something brewing, and
Yeah, of course.
there's a
People are starting
problem.
to think about this.
There's a problem, and it's being talked about, and a lot of people are all saying it's going to plateau, it's going to peak, it's going to burst.
It has to.
I don't
It
know what's
has
going
to
to happen,
because
but something's going to have to happen.
well, it has to plateau at some point, right? Because if we keep going the way we're going, we keep reversing gender roles, we keep blending the genders and
Can,
the sexes,
can I
then
say
society's
something?
gonna die off.
I almost feel I can't call it, man, because this can be the way the future is going. I'm not trying to be some guy trying to forecast the future, but I feel like almost it's either going to take us as human beings at a certain age to
Mhm.
completely get over the hype of social media and wanting to look cool or have
Yeah,
the best, or it's going to have social media just fizzle out on its own, and people just are so overwhelmed with media that they're just like they're tired of it. Because I feel like when they're tired of it, things are going to come down and get a little bit back to normal. Who knows? I
I
can't
think
forecast
I
it.
think that's possible in a very distant future. But I think today people are so reliant on it and so dependent on it and so addicted to it. I don't see social media going away anytime soon.
Me neither. I'm not saying it's going to be soon, but I mean,
Right.
when will it peak?
That's a great question. New networks keep coming online. Look at the rise of TikTok over the past few years.
Yeah, is it going to peak, or is it going to just keep evolving into something completely different? I mean, look what they're doing with Meta. It's like scary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, Meta's or formerly Facebook is becoming this massive thing where
can you imagine
and all
meeting
you got to do is look
people?
at the growth of Instagram. Instagram has completely over the last decade, Instagram has taken the place of everything.
But I honestly feel that it's one of the major roles in the breaking down of the dating dynamics of the modern world we're living in,
Absolutely.
because where, dude, the hypergamy game
Hmm.
is stronger than ever.
Absolutely.
Eh,
And look, the things you see on Instagram, I think 99% of the things you see on Instagram are fake or staged, and people are trying to show you the very, very best of what they're doing.
I mean, average people forget that a lot of people get paid to do this.
Right, of
I
course.
mean, I could go rent the Lamborghini and drive around in it for a day and shoot a video. Want to know how to get rich? Like, there's so many scams out there as well. Like, so many people are acting out there, and we're out here, the consumers, taking things literal. I think it has a crazy effect
Right. But
on our.
let me give you a good example because I'm tapped into the Venezuelan community. I am a Venezuelan immigrant. And there's a running joke, kind of like a situational thing, where we make fun of them because girls will migrate from Venezuela, right? And growing up over there, they're poor, the whatever, they managed to make it over here with political asylum, with whatever the case is. And they get here, and in reality, they struggle. They have to stay with their aunt or their cousins at their spare bedroom if they happen to have one, or in the living room for a few years. They work at a kiosk at the mall making minimum wage. They finally managed to buy this tiny little junkie car, and that's essentially their life. But that one Saturday, they'll get together with their friends, they'll go to South Beach, they'll wear bikinis, they'll rent skates, and now they're going up and down South Beach taking photos at all the fancy restaurants with all the fancy cars, and all they're putting up on their Instagram for weeks is photos from that one weekend. And everybody in Venezuela is looking back, oh my God, look at this girl. She was all poor over here. Now she's living the life over there. When in reality, she's really not. It's all fake and it's all staged for the most part. Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
Uh, and I mean, not all women are like that. We're generalizing,
No, but well, of
but
course, we're always
but
generalizing. There's always
there's.
exceptions.
I mean, I think that that's being done on every level.
Yeah,
I mean, whether that's like a young little girl riding a dope new bike that her cousin got that's not hers,
sure.
to like a woman making believe she's on this crazy expensive yacht that her husband just bought or something. Like, there's different levels of
Yeah,
stunting. You know what I mean?
right. But it happens all the time. It happens constantly.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
whatever effect feminism has in making women quote unquote strong and independent, social media has compounded that effect.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the pandemic gave rise to OnlyFans, and OnlyFans has further compounded that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
What do you
get
think?
back.
What?
I'm gonna get back to the point that I was making before.
Okay.
Does it hurt women of the future?
Does look that
Does
like I said,
feminism
that's hard.
hurt women of the future?
That's
So
hard to predict. It depends which way it goes.
I mean, I watch a bunch of different channels, and they're all kind of in agreement, and they all tend to think that the women are going to hit a wall. All the women that are
Hmm.
chasing success, that
Right.
aren't interested in the man being in their lives at the moment, that are just spreading their legs until they're like 45 and they're
Sure.
successful. Guess what?
Tick tock.
In their
Tick
late
tock.
30s, early 40s, that biological clock
Comes knocking.
just hits them like a wall, and then they can't find a man
Nope.
because they've become so successful. So naturally, the woman is going to want to find somebody slightly successful, more successful than her.
Yep.
It's just natural, either at the same level or better.
And it
So
doesn't necessarily happen to successful women. I think it happens to all kinds of girls.
you're absolutely right. I mean, but
Yeah.
at that age, a successful man, or even a man that's not necessarily successful but might be that same age, unless he's an ugly dude, he's not going to be looking for that 45-year-old woman. He's just
Well,
not.
let's not even say 45. Let's say 35. A 35-year-old guy who's successful is probably usually not checking for a 35-year-old woman.
I don't.
I mean, I'm 39 and I don't look for girls that are around that age. I look for younger women.
Yeah, see, this is where me and you are very different. I can't date that young for me, and it's
Well,
weird because I know that those are the girls that I should actually be looking for,
hmm,
because those are the girls that will actually give love a chance because they haven't been completely jaded by men.
sure,
And obviously, we've talked about this. They're in the prime from the age of being 21 to 25 to be married and
right.
start a family.
Hmm.
But I can't date a girl that age because in this day and age, they've already started practicing hypergamy since they were in high school.
Oh, that's yeah. They start early now. I mean,
But I think the younger ones are even more unrealistic than some of the older ones.
yeah, I agree. I think. Look, if somehow you find a girl that gets out of high school, I mean, at our age, hitting a girl at high school is kind of creepy. But if you're a 25-year-old guy, or let's say 22, and you find a girl that that just got out of high school, who's in college, and is still a virgin with no tattoos, you found yourself a unicorn. That is extremely rare to find. Just finding a virgin straight out of high school, I think it's extremely rare. So yeah,
Seriously.
third wave feminism that's told women you can have it all. That's led to the unhappiness of women because when they hit that biological clock you were talking about, that's when they start getting on antidepressants.
Yeah.
And
So
I
that
think it's
it's
something like 80 or 90% of people who take antidepressants are female.
dude, it's literally, not only is feminism, like radical feminism, attack on masculine men, but it's an attack on femininity.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Women are not in their feminine anymore. They're so masculine. They're trying to be like this
Right.
boss bitch. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't want a boss bitch. I want I want a I want a
Well,
powerful
look,
woman.
look, that's the
I
thing.
don't need a bad bitch. I want a powerful, strong woman.
Okay,
Like
but
there's
see,
a
here's
difference.
the thing.
But hold on, I
Femin.
wasn't done. Not only are they attacking masculinity and femininity,
Mhm.
but they're attacking the future and they're attacking the whole idea of a family unit.
Absolutely.
They're breaking the idea of family units down completely.
Absolutely, because what happens is they've been this entire time saying that they're fighting for women's choice, right? And not just choice to choose or not to terminate a pregnancy. It's all about choice. They just want women to have options and women to have the choice, but at the same time, they're the ones attacking women for choosing to stay at home and raise a family.
Oh,
They This
absolutely.
happens. They attack them for that,
They look
even though they
down on
made
it.
their choice. They look down on it and they say things like, "Oh, I can't believe you're letting your sexuality diminish your power."
You know what we need to do one day? We need to have a couple we need to find some stay-at-home wives to interview because I
Yeah,
want
that'd
to
be
ask
great.
them how they appreciate their lives.
Yeah.
I want to find out like what they're thinking because that's something I have no idea about. And if they're living a good life and
Hmm.
they're okay with it, that gives me a whole nother view on it because they might be there just laughing at all the other girls like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and if they're happy, I think they absolutely are. They get together with their neighbors who are also stay-at-home wives, and they have a good laugh at their expense.
yeah.
You know,
How do
not
you
all
think
women who
it's
stay home are like the desperate housewives of New Jersey.
how do you think it's affecting like our population and our growth as a population? Because they're saying numbers are down, like childbirth is down.
Oh, childbirth is down,
I mean,
marriage rates are
50,
down.
50% of women, I think that's a big percent, 50% of women over 30 are now single and childless.
Yep, that's the United States population is going down, and by the way, the same thing is happening to China because of the one-child policy. It's starting to catch up with them, by the way. So if you think, oh, our population, anybody watching who might think, oh, our population is going down, China's going to take over, not necessarily the case. But yeah, absolutely, our population numbers have to be going down. They have to be, because women don't want to have kids at the same rate. Men don't want to have kids at the same rate because they know if that marriage or if that relationship doesn't work out, they're still going to be on the hook for that child till that child's 18.
Absolutely. Dude, you know why
Hmm.
I don't want one at the moment? Because I do. I really do want to start a family, but
Hmm.
I refuse to be with the wrong woman. And that's
Yeah, you
why
got to pick the right woman.
yeah.
And see, that's what happened to me in my marriage. Uh,
We're
I,
afraid.
I
Men are
I was
afraid to
more.
have everything ripped away from them.
Absolutely, but when I got married, I was more in love with the idea of being married and the idea of starting a family than I was with her. And don't get me wrong, she's a great friend of mine today, and I do love her to death. But
Do you think
I
that's
was
where you
more.
messed up?
Eventually, yeah, eventually that caught up. Absolutely, absolutely, that's where I messed up, and maybe that's where she messed up too. Her and I haven't talked about the beginning of our marriage necessarily, but I think that eventually ended up catching up with both of us, and we ended up getting divorced. And it was as mutual as a divorce can get.
Gotcha.
It was uncontested, and none of us really fought it. It was just time.
So, any final thoughts, you think?
Well, I mean, I would ask you the same thing. I think the main question of the program, has feminism ruined masculinity and femininity? I think it's actually ruined femininity more than masculine. But yeah, it's absolutely, feminism has ruined both of them. And my final thought is, I think feminism has gotten this radical and this powerful because men have allowed it to be. I think if men had put their foot down from the beginning and pushed back against this cultural appropriation, you know, they were given an inch, they took a mile. Well,
Yeah.
we kept giving them an inch. We kept giving them inches and inches and inches and inches, and we're still giving them inches
I kind of
because we're,
agree with you there,
you know,
but it's almost at a point where like I'm afraid to agree with you on that because I might get canceled, even though I'm nobody. But you feel me? Like,
yeah.
oh,
Look, absolutely, it
this
would
could
not
have
surprise
an
me at all.
effect. This could have an effect on my future job hirings. Like,
Look, it
dude,
wouldn't surprise me at all if this was our final show. I'm serious. Our YouTube channel might get deleted after this.
everything is so sensitive these days, dude. Even
Yeah,
comedians, dude, they can't even be comedians.
yeah. Look at Bill.
Everything
Yeah,
is soft, dude. Everything is soft these days.
everything is soft. Everything is sugar coated. Everything is watered down, and it's not just. Yeah, it's everything. It's not just men and women though. It's politics. It's sports. It's everything.
Literally, bro, in the most masculine way I can say this I feel like this country has no more balls
Oh,
to be
absolutely. We don't
like,
have balls. No, no, we don't.
dude, we need to do something to change it,
Here's an
man.
interesting question for you, because I thought about this a while back. Looking at the whole politically correct culture and everything, if we'd never gone to the moon and we went to the moon today, do you think we'd plant the American flag on the moon?
what,
I
what do
don't
you
think we would. I
what do
think
you
we'd plant the United Nations flag or some other crap. I don't think we'd plant the American flag on the moon today
okay, why not? If America flies there, you think
because,
because it's like politically correct because
yeah, because it's
it's the
politically.
world.
That's the thing. Just like being a man and being a masculine man is looked down upon, American exceptionalism is looked down upon. When America beats its chest, it's looked down upon by the rest of the world, and the politicians, unfortunately, care too damn much about it. But anyway, let's not get into politics. All right, any final thoughts from you?
No, my thoughts are just, man, people, get out there and love intentionally. Like, stop sleeping around.
You're such a softy, man. I love
I,
it.
I'm a super softy, like always. I don't care. I'll never change. I refuse to change because of the way the world is.
Gosh, Justin, you're so beta, dude.
Bullshit. I'm a silent alpha. I'm a silent
No, you
assassin.
said yourself you're a Sigma.
I'm a silent assassin over here.
But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Please, please, before you sign off, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I do wonder if the comments came back on or not. We didn't get any, but we'll
Jeremy
see.
said he said no.
Oh, what the hell? Well, then that I'll take the fault for that one. I had to do something wrong when I set the whole thing up. But
Come on, bro. Where's the boo button?
there you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Justin, thank you. And we will see you Sunday night, 8 p.m. Same bad place, same bad channel. Thank you all.
You got it, guys. Take care.
Peace.